want to answer two questions. That is, the first one, we want to calculate or to find the number of turns that are in the secondary coil. Then thereafter, we'll calculate the current flowing in the secondary coil. How do we calculate the number of turns that are in the secondary coil? The relationship that we have is the voltage in the secondary coil divided by the voltage in the primary coil is equal to number of turns in the secondary divided by number of turns in the primary. So when you have this, the option we can use is to make what we have been asked the subject of the formula. So in this case, we have been asked the number of turns in the secondary coil. So let's make that the subject of the formula. You can simply cross multiply there. We'll have number of turns in the secondary multiplied by voltage in the primary is equal to voltage in the secondary multiplied by number of turns in the primary. Then you divide both sides by Vp by Vp. So when you simplify these two, you will have number of turns in the secondary is equal to Vs multiplied by Np divided by Vp. So if we have this now, we can put the values of what we have in the expression. So what is the voltage in the secondary? The voltage in the secondary is 220. So we are saying 220 multiplied by what is the number of turns in the primary? The number of turns in the primary is 400 divided by the voltage in the primary. The voltage in the primary, it is 110. So this should give us the number of turns in the secondary. So when we multiply 220 and 400, you get 88,000. This is being divided by 110. So if you divide 110 into 88,000, you should get 800 turns. So this becomes the number of turns that are in the secondary coil. Let's look at the next question. Next question is asking us to calculate the current that is flowing in the secondary coil. So how do we calculate the current that is flowing in the secondary coil? So the relationship that we use is the voltage in the secondary coil multiplied by the current in the secondary coil is equal to the voltage in the primary coil multiplied by the current in the primary coil. So this relationship should help us to calculate the current that is in the secondary coil. So we are being asked to find this, so we can simply make the current in the secondary coil the subject of the formula by dividing both sides with Vs. So we multiply or we divide both sides by Vs, we simplify this, then you have the current in the secondary is equal to voltage in the primary multiplied by current in the primary divided by voltage in the secondary. So let's put the values in this question. What is the voltage in the primary? The voltage in the primary, it is 110 volt there, multiplied by what is the current in the primary? We have been given it is 10 amps. Then divide by the voltage in the secondary, which is 220. So 220 volts. So you will notice this V and this V will go. Then we will remain with the A as the unit for the answer. So we are simply saying we are dividing the 1,100 when you multiply 110 and 10, divide by 220. So this is in A. When you divide the 2, you have 5 amps. So 5 amps becomes the current that is coming out or produced by the secondary coil.